After months away due to injuries, Caitlin Clark has finally returned to the court. This marks her first senior-level camp with USA Basketball and her first basketball interview in months. Clark opened up about her injury-filled sophomore season, the lessons she learned, and shared an exciting update about her future with the Indiana Fever. Comment below if you're excited to see Caitlin Clark back on the court. Basketball Fire.
Your favorite thing you've done this offseason?
Favorite thing I've done this offseason? Man, just get back to playing basketball. Like, honestly, like, I didn't get to play last year, so played a few games, but just being on the court and having fun and smiling, like, that brings me a lot of joy.
The numbers told a big story. Caitlin Clark broke 62 records in her rookie season and became one of basketball's biggest stars, but her sophomore year was different. A groin strain, a quadriceps injury, and a bone bruise in her left ankle forced her out. After just 13 games, her season ended early. Instead of playing, Clark focused on recovery and getting back to full strength.
I know you told us today that after practice you were a little bit nervous going in just because you hadn't played in a while. Was there a moment you tried to get over that, said, all right, I'm good, I'm back to where I was before I got hurt? And I think you hit that one step back three that bring some comfort in some ways in the part we saw.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like when I touched the basketball to start warming up before the practice even started, that's probably when I felt pretty comfortable. But I mean, I've worked so hard. Like, I haven't taken a break since, honestly, since the beginning of the WNBA season, with just all my rehab and getting back to where I wanted to be and then getting even better. So that's been kind of my focus. And, this has kind of been my next thing that I've been working for since our season ended.
Those quiet hours gave Caitlin Clark something she rarely had before: time to reflect. She watched closely as teammates dealt with injuries, seeing their frustration during rehab and their determination to keep pushing forward. She saw how they battled through pain just to return to practice and stay with the team.
Thankful for, the training staff and player development and everybody that has kind of been there with me. They haven't taken a break either because they invest a lot of time and they want me to be successful. So I think for myself, like, it's not proving it to yourself again, but it's just that feeling. And I think it just made me smile quite a bit. Like, I really did kind of feel like myself out there and just continuing to get my lungs back. But I felt like I was moving really well, so it was pretty satisfying.
Injury recovery became an unexpected lesson for Caitlin Clark. Time away from the game taught her resilience and patience. She realized leadership isn't just about big plays or game-winning shots. It's also about supporting teammates in the moments they need it most.
I wanted to ask you about, the last 6 months. I mean, you basically, I think you had a stretch of like 7 years, whether it's Iowa or Dowling, where you just didn't miss a game. You never were out for one game with an ankle tweak or anything. Just having that stretch of being off the court and not playing games, did you learn anything about yourself? And did you learn anything about the game just being on the sideline rather than playing?
Caitlin Clark began supporting injured teammates more than before. She checked in with them through messages and offered encouragement during tough moments. For the first time, she understood how hard it feels to be away from the game and the mental challenges that come with injuries.
Put together a pretty incredible stretch of never missing a game. And, the fact is, when you're a professional athlete, it's going to come at some point. That's just how it goes. I think it's honestly taught me more than I've probably ever learned through the course of my career of, how to take care of your body, how to get right, how to stay healthy, and then just taking time for.
Months away from basketball changed Caitlin Clark's view of being a great teammate. She realized that supporting teammates matters just as much as performing during games, and that leadership exists on and off the court. Recovery was not only physical but also mental. Clark faced doubts about returning to her previous level and had to stay patient while working toward full recovery.
At the end of the WNBA season, obviously I did everything I could to try to be able to come back and, be able to play for my team, but, it just didn't really work. I think that was almost a way of relief for myself, just knowing that, I gave everything I could to possibly try to play, but my body just wasn't really letting.
Those tough months also revealed Caitlin Clark's resilience. She refused to let setbacks define her and used the time to observe team dynamics. She learned from veterans how to support teammates through adversity and gained a deeper appreciation for simply being able to compete. Reflecting on the experience, Clark said it taught her how to be a great teammate and leader, always there for teammates facing injuries.
To rehab, and now feeling back at 100%, it honestly took probably longer than I expected, but knowing my body's in a really good spot. And, I think more than anything, it just teaches you how to be a really great teammate and a really good leader, and understanding what your teammates go through. Like, obviously, I'm going to have teammates that have been through injuries and are going to continue to go through injuries, and always leaning on them and being there for them. And, if I have a teammate hurt going forward, like, I'm always going to be the one that texts them and checks on them. And then, just pouring into your teammates. You can do that whether you play or you don't play. And that was kind of my main focus.
Caitlin Clark's commitment to supporting teammates became clear during her recovery. She explained, "If a teammate is hurt, I'll always check on them and pour into them, whether I play or not." The injury period reshaped her view of leadership. At the same time, her desire to return to the court grew stronger. "I missed playing. I'd have taken 10 bad games just to be out there. That's how much I love it," Clark admitted. Her forced absence gave her a new appreciation for the game, now ready to be tested on the biggest stage.
This is the biggest honor you can possibly have, and playing basketball in our country is wearing USA across your chest. So, I'm just excited to be here and honored. Obviously, it's kind of like the start to the new Olympic cycle, and quite a few different things before we get to that point, but just excited to be here and be surrounded by a lot of really great players, some that, haven't played in Olympics before, and then others that have a medal or multiple medals. So I think it's been a fun group to be around.
The Duke University facility buzzed as 26 players gathered for the December camp, starting roster selection for the 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics. Sue Bird, the new managing director, watched every drill to spot the players who could lead USA basketball forward. Caitlin Clark stepped into a new environment. Olympic veterans like Kayla Copper, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young brought experience, while first-time senior camp players such as Cameron Brink, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, and Guju Watkins added fresh energy.
Obviously, this camp has a lot of younger players. What can you say just about all of you being able to come together and kind of signify this start of this new Olympic cycle, with all of you being together and being so familiar with each other?
Yeah, and I think a lot of us have familiarity, whether we were playing on junior national teams together or whether we played versus each other in college, or, obviously playing now versus each other in WNBA, or some of us obviously are teammates as well. So, we know each other pretty well. I think it obviously speaks to the way USA basketball does such a great job at the junior national team levels of really getting you kind of involved in the program and understanding what USA basketball is about.
The pressure was on. Caitlin Clark hadn't played competitively in months. Every coach watched her closely. The national team staff, led by Cora Lawson and including Natalie Nasi, Nate Tibbetts, and Stephanie White from the Fever, were evaluating every move. Lawson's offense highlighted Clark's strengths: fast-paced, spaced-out plays that encouraged quick decisions, sharp passes, and driving lanes, everything that made her special before the injuries.
And how big of an honor it is to be able to do this. And if you're lucky enough to do it, just once, that's incredibly cool to represent your country. So I think for us, like, being able to have that and then come into this national team camp together, it just is a thing of comfort, but also, like, we're all very competitive and you want to be surrounded by the best at the same time. And I think that's kind of the feeling all around for all of us.
Questions about Caitlin Clark's fitness dominated the first day. Could she create shots off the dribble? Was her court vision still sharp after months off? The basketball world watched to see if the record-breaking star could return to form.
It is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't really understand it until you go through it. And then I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one injury, and then it was like a little better, and then it kind of continued to compound and get worse, and, other things pop up, and then I had the ankle injury. So it feels nice to finally be back to 100%.
Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court for her first scrimmage and answered the questions immediately. "I'm 100% healthy," she declared, signaling not just physical recovery but a full mental reset after her toughest months. Her game showed no rust, crisp passes, explosive drives, and precise step-back threes. Coach Cora Lawson noted Clark looked strong on both ends, and her focused rehab had actually improved her overall conditioning.
I think Coach Cora is, obviously she knows just as good as anybody else what USA basketball is all about, winning a gold medal. And then additionally, like, she's been a part of a lot of different Olympic teams, whether it's 3-on-3 stuff, whether it's obviously an assistant coach at the last gold medal. But I think it's just the energy she brings. And I think that impacts every single person in the gym. And I think that's a really powerful thing as a coach. So I think that was, this is really my first time around Coach Kara as well. Like I don't have a prior relationship with her. So obviously it's been good to get to know her over the course of this first few days. But I think for myself, it's just the energy and the competitive spirit that she brings as a coach. I think that's really impacts players and what they want to bring on the court as well.
Caitlin Clark reunited with Cameron Brink, her longtime USA basketball teammate. Their nearly 9-year friendship offered comfort in the competitive camp. Clark focused on enjoying the process, noting the camp emphasized evaluation and team chemistry over pressure. Her shooting impressed coaches, and her quick decision-making fit seamlessly with the international style, fast-paced system, allowing her instincts to shine naturally.
It's great to see Cam. Last time I played USA basketball, I'm pretty sure she was on the team, or maybe that was 2 times ago, but she was actually my roommate one of the times that I played USA basketball. So I've known her for quite some time now, and then obviously throughout college continued to build our relationship, and then even now professionally. So it's always good to see people that you've known for 5+ years and even longer now. I mean, it was the U16 team was the first team I ever played on, and I think I was 15. So it's been almost 9 years now, which is pretty incredible, the course of this journey.
Caitlin Clark with Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, and Guju Watkins marked a generational shift for Team USA. Practices pushed everyone to their best. Her full health update showed she was ready for leadership. Injury lessons about supporting teammates and handling adversity now guide her as Team USA chases a 5th World Cup gold. Clark also addressed WNBA labor issues, showing awareness of bigger challenges in women's pro sports.
This is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, and it's not something that can be messed up. And we're going to fight for everything that we deserve, but at the same time, we need to play basketball. That's what our fans crave, and that's what all of you crave as well. You want the product on the floor. And at the end of the day, that's how you make the money. That's how you're marketable. That's what the fans get excited about. That's what the fans want to show up for. It's important that we find a way to, play this next season. And I think our fans and even everybody that has played in this league that has come before us deserve that as well.
This is the biggest moment in WNBA history, Caitlin Clark said. She knows contract talks shape the league's future. Clark focused on recovery, long-term health, and supporting teammates. Her step-back threes and crisp passes show her skills are still elite, and her leadership makes her vital for the Indiana Fever and Team USA. Stepping away gave her perspective on what matters most. Comment below if you're excited to see Caitlin Clark back, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.